If someone were to offer to buy part of your lifespan, would you sell it? How much would they offer you? At what point would you think, selling a couple of years couldn't hurt that much? As a young boy, Kusunoki was asked this very same question. He valued his own life at 3 billion yen, equivalent to $28 million US. The average American makes $1.4 million in their lifetime. Ever since he could remember, Kusunoki was the smartest kid in his class, as well as being a talented artist. On top of all that, he had someone who he relied on, a childhood friend who he promised to marry if they were both people left on the shelf at the age of 20. 10 years later, Kusunoki was a student at an average college, having given up on art a few years ago. Kusunoki was now broke, with listening to music and reading as his only hobbies. But everyone knows that you can't feed yourself with music or books. He was left with no choice but to sell everything he had. And while scavenging for every little bit of money he could find, he was pointed towards a little shop that bought time, health, and lifespan. At this point, Kusunoki was intrigued. With a childhood estimate of his life at 3 billion yen, he gleefully awaited the shopkeeper's evaluation of his life. Just 2 hours later, his reality was shattered. His former 3 billion yen estimate was considerably off, as he found out he was worth the minimum. 10,000 yen a year until he dies at the age of 50. With 30 years and 3 months left in his life, along with the knowledge that he would lead an unsuccessful, unhappy life, he decides to sell 30 years of his remaining lifespan, leaving him with only 3 months until he dies. And I know what you're thinking, tasteless, I don't want to read a manga that's just sad and depressing and just makes me want to give up myself. But this isn't what you're expecting. This is a romance manga about searching for true happiness and coming to acceptance of one's own decisions. I don't think any other manga I have ever read has made me feel emotions as real as this. Even with the fantasy aspect of being able to sell your own lifespan, I was able to feel despair, dread, and genuine happiness while I read the short 16-chapter manga. If this story solely focused on Kusunoki, I don't think I would be able to finish it. Kusunoki wasn't an interesting character at first. He wasn't anyone of significance at first. He wasn't someone that people would want to learn more about. But then shortly after the story begins, we are introduced to Miaki, a character that, unlike Kusunoki, was a fascinating character, a character with an unexplored origin that we wanted to know, a cold, blunt, yet likable character that made us care for her. But enough about the actual story. What's the point of reading when you already know everything that happens? Luckily, everything I said is stuff that occurs within the first 2 chapters of the manga, so you still have plenty more to enjoy with this excellent masterpiece. There is one big thing that this manga teaches, and that's how valuable, well, everything is. As Kusunoki went on with his last 3 months, he came to terms with his death. He accepted it and decided to live happily until the end. While that does not seem special at first, the mental strength needed to come to terms with your own death is incredible. If I was told my life was going to end in 3 months, I don't think I would be able to believe it. Nonetheless, accept it. There is something I love about the slice of life genre that many fans of other genres don't understand. They complain about it being too boring. But the tranquility of the genre makes it relatable to the reader, something that a normal human like me can't feel from a battle-packed shonen manga. I can still enjoy shonen, but I'm not reading it to relate to the character. And just like that, my first video ever is over. I hope you enjoyed the video. This is Tasteless, saying goodbye.